the female therapist, and welcome to our first session together. I'm here to work by my wisdom on. I'm not a qualified therapist. Don't tell, but you should listen. There's a 90% chance that you already know you're a people pleaser, but for the 10% that have no idea or completely unsure, here's a quick rundown. I'm going to give you some reasons as to why you might people please, and I'm going to give you some perspectives, knowledge, and wisdom to wear down the habit of people pleasing. It's in our nature to want to be approved, to be accepted by a community. We are social creatures. From parents, friends, mentors, validation, if regulated, is normal. It helps to directly or indirectly assure us when times are tough that we are on the right track. But when it comes to being a fuel for how you see yourself from your loved ones, and even worse, strangers, it is a huge problem. This is where you put other people's opinions and advice above your own intuition and judgment, where your appearance, your identity is in a chokehold of other people's opinions, and it is extremely suffocating and a very toxic way to live. You cannot do anything because you can't win. You can't win. It's like you enrolling yourself into a baking competition and you've never baked in your life. You're going to set yourself up for failure. So it's not going to work. In my professional, non-professional opinion, people tend to advise you based on their own abilities and their self-perception. If they see themselves as possessing positive characteristics, like capability, intelligence, creativity, they're more likely to recognize that in other people because they already recognize it within themselves. It's like the quote that goes, hurt people, hurt people. If someone's bitter, they'll be bitter towards you. But like the person who complimented you on your ability to have strength and beauty and capability, they view themselves positively and are more likely to exude that security within themselves that they're projecting onto you. So at the end of the day, external validity is extremely fragile. It isn't something that you can solely put all your eggs in one basket into because it is constantly changing. It's based on the people who are giving it to you. And that is why you need to be your base. You need to be your foundation. You need to be the person who says yes to what you want, where you want to be, what you want to do, and where you want to go, because you have the power. It's that simple. You trust other people to make your food when you go out shopping or you go out on a trip, drive you, and you can trust these complete strangers, but you can't trust yourself to lead the way. That is when you need to start checking yourself. When you boil everything down, you know yourself better than anybody else can ever make you think. So it's for you to stand up for yourself and validate everything that you believe is right and not have anybody else tell you that what you're thinking, where you want to be, what you want to do isn't right. Obviously, not to hurt anybody. What like the things that you're validating, make sure that they're good. I'm talking about seeing yourself positively, speaking words of encouragement, going to do big projects, meeting new people. I think that's obvious with the whole premises of this whole session. All right, just checking. You have an unrealistic expectation for yourself to amount to your unrealistic goals of yourself or others. This is where you might overcompensate to please others and establish friendships or relationships that to you feel like can't be broken and then must be always peace. But that peace is an illusion because you're not really happy. You're just pretending to keep your so-called quote unquote peace. You might do this by being a chameleon, changing yourself up to meet the standards of whoever you meet, and you don't actually resonate with the person you're identifying as. If everyone isn't cool with you or a situation doesn't go as the way you've planned in your head, it can feel horrible and it can make you feel powerless. In addition to not meeting everyone's standards, there is a tendency for humans to instinctually look at negative bias, as it's something that a lot of people tend to have, not just perfectionists in the sense I'm talking about. You might have had the best day you've had in weeks, sun shining, you just had an ice cream, you just got paid. It's amazing. And then somebody gives you a dirty look, presumptuously. They might have just had a rock in their shoe and just happen to make eye contact with you. And throughout the entire day, you just throw it in the bin. You throw out what you've just had because in that one instant, it didn't feel perfect. And you'll continue to dwell on it until the next day, further spoiling the potential greatness of the upcoming W day that you could have had. In my professional, non-professional opinion, be grateful for what you have going on for you right now. If you have your family healthy, appreciate it. If you have your hair in the most luscious, full condition it's been, appreciate it. If you've had somebody give you a dirty look, appreciate that too. Why not? Because it's allowing you to see that you're alive. Do something that's productive. Don't let the negative thing get to you. Just give yourself power. Don't let yourself be pushed around by the negative things. When you realize that a lot of things are out of your control, like the dirty look, you have to make it work in your favor. You have to let yourself have room for more positive things to come. And that means by trying your best to not control that, to not let everything be perfect. Because perfectionism is an illusion. It's a trick to make you chase something that isn't attainable. To me, and if you feel like it is to you, perfectionism is acknowledging that your worth, your beauty is inherent. You are worthy regardless of how much you do, how much you think up in your mind, how much you expect something to be. It is in you. You don't have to go the extra mile. Perfectionism is in you. You don't have to do more than is necessary. You are worthy regardless. It's not based on what you do. There are multiple different types of authenticity on this world as we know it, but I want to talk about the authenticity of your identity, specifically when you're growing up. When you're growing up, you are pretty much fresh. You don't have any concept of anything. That's why a lot of kids, not all, have very reckless and irresponsible way of thinking. Like your frontal lobe hasn't even matured. It hasn't marinated until the age of 25. So with a lot of these things that help crush your feelings of authenticity, such as humiliation, rejection, and embarrassment, they act as stumps in making you feel like being authentic isn't good, isn't safe. And I completely understand that. But you have to do your best, in my professional, non professional opinion, to acknowledge that you feeling embarrassed, humiliated, and rejected is part of the experience of this unique experience. They give your life substance. You will reach a point in your life where you'll be like, that was kind of funny. That was kind of a joke. It was a little bit silly, but it made me into the person I am today, and the person you are today is enough. The emotions you felt at the time were enough and will always be enough. Embarrassment, humiliation, and rejection is normal. And time on this earth is relative. Spend it doing something that you know that you believe is right, that is helping others, and is constructive. Don't spend it suffocating in the disaligned values of others, pretending to be somebody else. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. I promise you it's not worth it. You're bigger than the fakeness and the mask that you put on. Fact. This self concept is involved with how you see yourself, with how you believe you can meet certain expectations for yourself, for how you can achieve certain things in life, or meet other people, or just do anything in general. And if that's quite negative, such as you seeing yourself as unworthy, ugly, or a failure, it is very hard for you to encourage yourself to do things on your own premises, and you might end up falling in people pleasing, trying to get seen as a certain way by trying to people please. And it is for you to show up for yourself in order for there to be room for you to allow yourself to internally validate yourself. As children, we believe we can do anything we desire. You go back to the time when you were 7 years old. Hopefully, you didn't have any negative schema, because if you were to be in a group of 7-year-olds, I guarantee you and the majority of the class, when told to put your hands up on who's the prettiest or handsome, you would all put your hands up, because there is no inherent bias towards yourself. There is no hateness is a new word. There's no hateness. There's only acceptance and natural curiosity of who you are as children, with the conscious awareness they have of themselves. And that's beautiful. And when you take a lesson from that, from yourself, in my professional, non-professional opinion, it is so essential that you acknowledge that your love and worthiness for yourself doesn't change as you get older. Because what? Tell me why, when you ask a group of 15 to 16-year-olds, put your hand up, who's the most prettiest, who's the most handsome, who's the smartest? Nobody will put their hand up. I'm telling you right now. People will just laugh and look around nervously, and that is the trap. Do not put yourself, don't subject yourself to a self concept that doesn't serve your highest good. You're put here for a reason, and you need to own that good. Speak love to yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody. Nobody's going to do it for you. Apart from, you know, you. Because you're only going to have certain people come along and maybe say it to you once or twice. But like I said previously, with external validation, it is impermanent. It changes. It isn't consistent. So you need to let yourself have the state of mind. And if you were at a point in your childhood where you were told horrible things about yourself, I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. It was a reflection of their state of mind and issues. But now you have to take responsibility to look after yourself as a person that you are, who is worthy of love. Empathy is something that most people find easy to come by, unless you're a sociopath choosing not to be and limited in your own brain. That's a different story. But it comes with being able to put yourself in other people's shoes very easily, and find what someone else finds upsetting also, because you're able to create that, break down that bridge and feel it too. But I do believe that there are people who are very more sensitive and more prone to feeling things around them, more in tune with nature, art, and you just tend to be more introverts. And these inquisitively and deeply caring people, you, my patient, not my patient, oh my god, you sat in the chair, the one you're listening to me right now, if this does resonate with you, in my professional, non-professional opinion, you must protect your energy, and your well-being is a responsibility that must be prioritized in order for you to quit pleasing other people, because people will take and take and take until you have nothing left. You are human too. You will reach a point where you're so sick and you're so weak and you're so drained of energy that you aren't able to take care of yourself. You won't even be able to take care of the people that you're so desperately to seek approval from, because you are just so broken down and you won't actually have any energy to give to the people who deserve it, your family, your loved ones. And it just goes to a point where you have to decide, is me giving up everything that I am for the validation, for the verbal confirmation, for the fragile confirmation, probably not even direct, indirect, from strangers, worth it? Do I have to give everything all the time? Because a lot of these people genuinely won't. So you have to pick. You have to pick your struggle. Would you want to struggle in your favor, or do you want to struggle in someone else's favor? You are loved, radiant, worthy, considerate, resilient, unique, capable, and intelligent. I've been the female therapist, and thank you so much for listening. Hopefully I see you soon, but not too soon.